All right, so we're streaming live on YouTube right now as well. I'll show you guys how that's working, and let me share my screen and we can get started. All right, okay. So today, what we're going to be covering. All right, so we're streaming live on YouTube right now as well. There you go. Okay. So as I was saying, we're streaming on YouTube. If you guys are interested in recording of this after the webinar is done, then what you can do is you can go over to YouTube, search for Lumiwealth, right, for our channel on YouTube. And when you go into here, you'll see that we actually have a live broadcast going on right here. It says live now. This will eventually turn into a recorded video that you'll be able to watch afterwards, right? So we'll be emailing that out to you, but if you want to get it even sooner, you can check out our YouTube channel. It's over there. Also, make sure when you're here, subscribe and follow us, all that sort of stuff, just because we do release a lot of stuff. We have several different webinars that we do. We have interviews with CEOs. We have a lot of crypto content coming out soon. So there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see on this channel, I should say. All right. So search us up, Lumiwealth on YouTube. And let me actually share this link with you guys as well, just to make it a little bit easier for you. I'm going to put it into the chat. All right, there you go. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. So let's kick it off. So this is our agenda for today. I'm going to start off with getting to know you guys a little bit. Then we're going to go through an introduction on myself and on Lumiwealth as a whole. We're going to talk about algorithmic trading a little bit, and then we're going to get into basically a demo of what these trading bots can do. And you'll be able to see them. You're not going to see them live because the markets are closed right now, but we have a recording of that I'm going to show you basically of us trading this live, and you'll be able to see some capabilities and some things that they're able to do. And then we say questions at the end, but really, if you have any questions, please ask throughout the entire presentation. I love having these things be interactive. I love it when a lot of people are asking questions. So don't hesitate until the end to ask a question. Also, in order to ask a question, there's a little Q&A button that you can click on, or you can click on the chat, right, which is going to be under more, I believe, on your end, or at least on my end, it's under more. But you can either ask through a chat or through the Q&A. I'm going to be listening to both of them. All right. Okay, cool. So first of all, let's get to know you guys a little bit. All right. So if you guys don't mind putting into the chat, what is your occupation? Do you know how to program? And how much investment experience do you have? This way, I can get to know you guys a little bit, and we can kind of tailor this a bit more towards you. And get what you guys want to have out of this presentation as well. So you just type that into the chat window. What's your occupation? Do you know how to code? Do you know how to program computers? And how much investment experience do you have? All right. Okay, so I'll let you guys type that out. And while you guys are typing that out, I'll introduce myself a little bit as well. All right. So who am I? What kind of background do I have? So I've been coding computers since I was about 12 years old, very long time ago. So it's been, quite a while coding computers. I started off with C, C++, did everything from that to Ruby on Rails, JavaScript, you name it, Python, right? Throughout my career, I also managed a lot of software teams, right? So I've managed teams as large as 30 developers, and mostly in the financial space, right? I also have a master's degree from master's in finance from like a top school here in Canada. May not have heard of it, but it's Ivy League kind of thing in Canada. And after completing grad school, I also worked on Wall Street for a while. First at a company called Greystone, where I did, they still continue to do this, mortgage lending, where, the average mortgage is somewhere from 10 to $20 million, right? So like commercial mortgages. And basically I worked for the CEO's son, right? It's a big company. It's maybe like 5,000 people. So it's kind of nice to work that close with upper management. But basically we built out an entirely new department for automating a lot of what the company's doing, right? So Basically, we built out some software, makes it a lot easier to get loans, to value properties, how much should we give out a loan, yada, 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 lots of different things that we did there. And basically, I believe that software today has maybe done about $50 billion, maybe a little more, that has gone through that system right now. After that, after we're at Greystone, I also worked at a company called Voyager, which pretty amazing. It's employee number 4. And today they actually went public on the TSX. So they've been public for a while, but they went public on TSX. I would expect maybe soon to go public on the NASDAQ as well. So definitely very cool to be part of a company like that, start on the ground floor and see it just grow into something huge, right? When I started, it was 4 people in a room. Now it's worth over $3 billion, which is pretty cool. And what they do is they're a cryptocurrency exchange or broker, right? So if you want to go kind of like Coinbase, right? If you want to go on there, trade, if you want to trade crypto, you can go ahead and set that up. And it's a really good app, works well, and you get paid interest for using it as well. So that's kind of my background, right? And I'm going to read off some of you guys here. So we have Ronak. Hi, Ronak. So sales, basic coding knowledge, been investing past 6 years, and 2 of them investing options. Oh, very cool. Nice. Awesome. We also have an options course starting up very soon that I think you'd be very interested in if you're an options trader. As you can imagine, this type of thing, the algorithms lend themselves very well towards options because the complexity and things like that, right? So nice to meet you. Amar, occupation, you're a data engineer, know how to code, mostly database language, SQL, C#, and have some training experience. Awesome. That's very cool. Yeah, definitely. If you have that kind of knowledge, if you have that kind of background, it should be even easier. We try to make it as easy as possible to build these bots. I've taught people that have 0 coding experience and they're able to build their own bots. So if, actually not even just the 0 coding experience, but could barely even use a computer, and we're able to get them up and running. So you don't need a ton of coding experience, but if you do have coding experience, it really does help. And I've seen some people build some really, really cool stuff. So hi, Amar. And then Matt, we have Matt here. I work in IT for municipal government as well as geospatial systems analyst. Don't be fooled, I don't have a computer science or programming background. It sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a very interesting job. I have an intermediate level Python and no trading experience. Cool, awesome. Yeah, like I was saying, if you have that programming experience, you don't need it. We do teach people, even that have never coded before, with being able to have them build out bots. But if you do have that coding experience, you really, I've seen people build some really, really cool stuff. If you have that coding experience, we can get you there and help you build some really cool stuff. So welcome, Matt. And then Soma, your name is Soma, occupation mechanical engineer. Very nice. Software, Python, MetaTrader 4. Cool. A lot of people ask about that, MetaTrader 4, and 3 years of investing experience. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of developers here today, which is great. Like I said, not necessary, but I think if you guys were to go through some of our technology and go through some of our courses, you really could build out some very, very cool stuff. And I've seen some of our students really make a lot of money doing these things. So definitely cool. Okay, cool. So back to the introduction. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Soma, as well. Okay, so I explained who I am. Let's talk a little bit about Lumiwealth as well. So what is Lumiwealth? Why do we exist? Why did we start this company? It's been around for 2 years. And really, the main purpose of this company is so that we can give everyday people better investment returns. I worked on Wall Street for a while, and I saw the types of investments that these people were able to get, these billionaires. Believe me, they have access to types of investments that you could only dream of. Imagine making, 30% a year without, any risk kind of thing, or very low risk. So, to me, that I always felt that to be a little bit unfair. And not to mention, I think helping people have better investment returns in general is going to be helpful for the country and for the world. So that's what we're all about. We're using technology to democratize or disintermediate the way that investing is being done, right? There's these hedge funds in the world that are making, these crazy returns, and they're using these types of techniques. But it's until recently, it was very difficult to, hello, Alex. Until recently, it was very difficult to, actually have, everyday people be able to build these types of things. So we want to make this as easy as possible and use technology to really bridge the gap and bring a lot better investment returns to people. That's what we're working on. That's what Lumiwealth is about. That's our why, Simon Sinek kind of thing. But what we actually do right now is we have 3 courses. We have this course, which I'm going to be talking about here, the Algorithmic Trading course. We have a machine learning course as well, which kind of builds on top of things that we learn in algo trading. And then we have an options trading course as well on top of that. It's coming out very soon, actually. It's in 2 weeks, actually less than 2 weeks. Wow, coming up very soon. We're starting this class, and it's going to be very exciting to be able to use algorithms to trade options. So those are 3 courses. We're also working on technology that will make this stuff even easier. Make it so that you have a website that you can deploy your algorithms to, data that's more available. There's a lot of things that we're working on pretty soon. So you'll be seeing some cool products come out from us as well, which is another reason to follow us on YouTube, because we definitely have a lot of cool things. Speaking of YouTube, here is that link again. I'm also going to send you guys a link to his presentation. I'm going to put this in the chat because I know a lot of people ask about that. So you get the link to the presentation. Inside the presentation, you'll also find this link to our YouTube channel, which I'm going to put as well into the chat. And as I said, if for those of you that are just arriving as well, if you guys want to see recording of this class, just go to our YouTube channel. You can click the link that I put into the chat, or you could go to YouTube, search for Lumiwealth, the name of our company, right? You'll find our channel there. Right now, you can see that this video is live, right? So we're live on YouTube right now as well. But after this is done live streaming, this will also be a recording, right? So you'll be able to watch this over again. If you want to rewatch something or see something again, you'll be able to go through this on YouTube, right? Okay, so that's YouTube. Another really good resource for you guys is our Discord channel. Discord is awesome. We have a lot of really smart people on there. For those of you that don't know what Discord is, it is this thing right here. It's basically a chat, right? You could have this on your you could have this on your phone, you could have this on your computer, but basically it's our community. So you can go in there, you could talk to some of our past students if you want to ask them about, what their experience with the courses were, if you want to ask them about some of their algorithms, whatever. And we have a lot of people there. If you have, you have questions about anything, this is the place to go. We also have something called Discussion Hour. If you guys join us, if you guys decide to buy one of our courses, you'll get access to our Discussion Hour voice channel, where actually tonight, 8 p.m. we're going to be doing 8 p.m. Eastern. And basically what it is it's talking about algorithms, talking about who's working on what and how their algorithms are working out and all that sort of thing. So lots of very interesting conversations there going on. So that's our Discord. I would definitely recommend that you guys join. And again, if you guys want that Discussion Hour, that's, it's a premium service, but if you buy any of our courses, you get access to that as well. Right. So definitely join our Discord. It's free if for most of it, right? And then also just want to remind you, there's a survey at the end of the webinar, so make sure you fill that out because it helps us do things better. You're welcome, Yanaro, sorry. So there's a survey at the end of the webinar. It'd be great if you guys fill that out so we can keep improving these services for you guys. I always love hearing from people. Getting feedback is, I think, very important for a business. So very much into feedback. And if you guys let us know what you want, we can create those things for you, right? So please fill out that survey. And then also, ask questions throughout the presentation, right? Don't feel like you have to wait until the end. It's great to have these interactive presentations, right? All right, cool. So that's a little introduction there. So let's talk about algorithmic trading. Why do we care? Why does this matter? If you think about it, right, basically, almost everything that we're doing now is getting automated, right? We're getting self-driving cars. You're having Alexa that can turn off your lights and things like that. So basically everything is getting automated. So why not you're investing, right? And the truth is that a lot of these big hedge funds, they're making lots and lots of money for actually already doing it, right? There's a lot of things that you can take advantage of using computers to make quite a bit more money for yourself, right? Computers don't sleep. They're a lot faster. They're much more logical. They're not susceptible to emotions and things like that. If you're trading in front of a computer, right? It could take in a lot more information, right? So imagine building a computer system that can basically read all the news in the world and analyze every company in the world, you can imagine that would be a very valuable and a very powerful thing to build, right? If you have any belief that, doing stock analysis, like, doing the Warren Buffett kind of thing, or Ray Dalio's of the world, or any of those great investors, if you believe in their skills at all, then, you could build a computer that could replicate a lot of what they're doing, right? Right now, maybe it's, 50% or something like that. But over time, as computers get smarter, get better, we have better tools, better resources. Eventually, there's going to be one day where computers, I believe, are going to be better than any human investor could possibly be, because you just can't read 1,000 documents a second. You know what I mean? That's just not humanly possible, right? So that's kind of the reason why behind. Hey guys, sorry about that. Can you hear me now? The power just went out in my house. Apparently there's a really bad thunderstorm on the way. At least yeah, at least we're not getting flooding like New York, right? I'm in Toronto right now. But you guys can hear me again? It's good? Okay, perfect. Awesome, great. I'm going through the internet on my phone too, so hopefully that's working out well. Let me know if you see any kind of trouble with the connection. So let's see a chat here. I can hear you. Yes. Hey, I'm an electrician. Awesome. Yes, I can hear. Take some profits, pay your power bill, Robert. Thanks, Andre. Yeah, no, apparently there's a severe thunderstorm around the corner, so I think it knocked out our power for a few seconds there. But okay, cool. Let's get back to regular schedule here. I want to make sure also that we're streaming on YouTube, so I'm just going to double check that. Okay, so it seems like the live stream is still going as well. Okay, there you go. All right, cool. Okay, great. So algorithmic trading. So back to it. So that's our belief. Software is eating the world, or software is really producing a lot of things. If we can build self-driving cars, we can build self-trading robots, right? And there's there's any number of different strategies they could use, right? Everything from being able to analyze companies very well, to be able to trade smaller types of companies, to take advantage of machine learning and different types of indicators. There's a lot of things that you can do, trading the news, right? There's a lot of really cool stuff that we can do with algorithms. Yeah, but don't take my word for it, right? So here's a couple of hedge funds I put down, right? So some of the most successful hedge funds in the world are what's called quant funds, right? So one that's stands out the best, and there's a book written about this guy that started Renaissance Technologies called, his name is Jim Simmons. It's called The Man Who Solved the Market. The Man Who, yeah, there you go. So fantastic book about the guy that created the company Renaissance Technologies. It is absolutely ridiculous the amount of money that these guys make. They started this hedge fund some like 30 years ago and have just really, really, really outperformed the stock market. This is a very interesting book. They talk about how they kind of they start everything. They're like, he was like a mathematician. They worked together, were able to figure out some algorithms that actually made a lot of money for them. Right. And then basically, the first year their fund was, making some money, and then just continue to grow and grow and grow. There are years where they're doubling, tripling their money. At some point, they're making so much cash. It's funny if you read this book, they're like buying houses and like forgetting about them. right? It's just like a ridiculous amount of money these guys are making. So to give some stats around it though, you know, last time I checked, they're at $110 billion. It's probably much larger than that now, because they are growing, and this was maybe a year ago that I looked at this. So I think they managed quite a bit more than that by now. Their average return for their medallion fund, which by the way, you cannot even buy into, right? They shut it off and they gave everyone back the money. So it's only available to employees basically. But these guys have made 39% returns annually, right? That compares like the stock market, which is around 10% a year. So 4 times the stock market. Okay. But that's also with very low risk, where I think they've only lost money once in 1 quarter, and not even a lot. I think they lost like 1% or something once over 30 years. Think about that. Imagine making 40% a year every single year and only losing money once over a 30-year period. I think Medallion Fund last year doubled their money, right? For example, right? So they have really, really good returns. Right. But because, compound, Einstein called compound interest the most powerful force in the world. So let's talk about what that really means, this 40% a year, right? So if you put your money into the stock market, which I think is a very good idea, right? And obviously we're into this sort of thing. You put $1,000 and you invested it for 30 years, let's say like the retirement type of thing. I'm getting some chat here. Yeah. 8th wonder of the world, compounders. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah, so if you put $1,000 for 30 years into the stock market, 10% a year, right? You would turn $1,000 into about 17,500, which is great. 17 times the return. That's amazing, right? If you put your money into Renaissance instead, that same $1,000 would not have turned into 17,000. It would have turned into almost $20 million after 30 years, right? So this gives you a really good idea as to why these guys are so incredibly wealthy. Like Jim Simmons is a billionaire several times over, and he's created a lot of other billionaires as well. People have invested with him, right? But that's one company. It's very interesting. I think the book is fascinating to read up on him and kind of his background. But they're not the only ones, right? Like a lot of these quant funds are doing quite well, right? So another one, which is 2 Sigma, I believe these guys do something like twice the stock market's returns on average, and again with very low risk. Right. There's, some people will say, I'll double my money in the stock market or whatever. And it's been a good year. So a lot of people are saying that. Can you do that year in, year out, every single year and not lose money? Right. Because a lot of these people that double their money in 1 year, they also don't tell you about the time when they lost half their money. Right. But these guys are not doing that. It's public record. You could go through the returns, and they consistently beat the stock market and do not lose money for their clients. Right. So 2 Sigma is another one of those. They're doing very well. They manage $60 billion worth of assets. Again, same thing, quantitative strategies. They're using mathematics. They're using computers to basically trade for them, right? There's a lot of different strategies that they use, right? Citadel is another one. These guys also do a little bit of high frequency trading type stuff. But they're same thing, quant hedge fund, doing very well. 32 billion assets last time I checked. Bridgewater is another one. They're highly quantitative. They have a lot of data models within their company. They don't have. They're a little different. They don't make the computers actually trade for them, but the computers inform a lot of their decisions. So they use a lot of data science and things like that, which we'll be talking about in this course. And then D.E. Shaw is another one, and this company is actually great as well. And a little bit of trivia here. Does anyone know who used to work at D.E. Shaw? I guarantee you know exactly who this person is. Question is, do you know that he used to work at this company? Does anyone have a guess? I guess you could Google it, but I just want to see if anyone knows off the top of their head. So you know him very well. At one point in time, he's the richest person on earth, and that's Jeff Bezos. Before he started Amazon, he used to work at D.E. Shaw, helping them build their algorithms for trading. Obviously did quite well, right? And had the idea to start Amazon. The CEO of D.E. Shaw tried to convince him to stay. He believed otherwise, went off and started Amazon, and the rest is history, right? So we're definitely in good company when we're talking about this whole space, right? A lot of very successful, very talented people coming out of this, right? And then We got a chat here. Bullish on Amazon. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've done quite well. I think the government's the only thing that could stop them at this point. if they do that, hopefully, you know, antitrust doesn't get too crazy. Okay, so yeah, so we've also done quite well. You know, our investment returns have done quite well. We have several accounts. I could show you a couple of them. This is one of them where, you know, last year we almost tripled the stock market's returns. It was 53% were our returns on the year. The stock market did 17% over that same time period. We could go into one of our alpaca accounts that's been doing quite well as well. I can show you this. We put $10,000 into it 2 months ago. It's already at around 11,000. So we made 10% in 2 months. Not too shabby, right? I can show you that account here. And so we're planning on actually putting more money into it. So this is $10,000 2 months ago, right? So we already made $1,000 in 2 months, which is awesome, right? So yeah, so I could show you. There's a bunch of accounts I could walk you through, but those are a couple of them. So we've also done quite well with our own trading and investing, right? So to show you a little bit of background there. Okay, so that's our returns there. Obviously, legal disclaimer, right? All that sort of thing. But okay, so let's show you guys how these things are actually working, right? So you've seen have, you know, other companies are doing this sort of thing. I think it makes a lot of logical sense that, you know, computers would eventually be much better at investing than people would be, just because of the amount of processing power that a computer can go through, right? I think it's really cool to see these actual bots working. Before I do that, for those of you guys that have the programming background, you could take a look at our library that we've built. We built a library to make it quite a bit easier to create these trading bots. If you take our courses, we teach you not only how to use this library, but also we'll teach you show you many of our strategies. You get access to our library of strategies. You can use them. You can copy them and you know, work off them or use them as is, whatever you want to do with them, right? So you get access to that. We'll show you how we kind of come up with our own strategies and all that sort of thing. But if you're interested, you can see our open source library here, so you know that we practice what we preach, right? And this is a documentation for it. Okay. All right, cool. So that's the code, and let's show you guys a demo. So I think that's probably what you guys are most excited about. So here's a demo. It was recorded a few weeks ago during trading hours, right? Because obviously I can't show you live bots right now, but this was recorded live at another one of our webinars that we did. We did a webinar a couple of weeks ago. We used to do these during market hours, but then I think after COVID is harder for people to be in the office and watch while they're at work, right? So we started doing it after hours. But this is recording from back then, and you guys can watch and see a couple of our algorithms at work, right? Let me play that for you guys here. So this is, I'm going to show you a couple of different trading strategies that we show you, first of all, in the courses, and that you can employ yourself. It's pretty easy for you to get these up and running. I've had people that have never coded a day in their lives and have these strategies running within just a few weeks. Yeah, so, you know, even if you don't know how to code, don't feel like you have to shy away from this, whatever. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of code here, but really it's not that difficult to learn. We've been able to teach a lot of people that have never coded before in their lives, right? Okay, so here, let's show you a demo of some of our different trading strategies. Okay. So there's a couple I want to show you today. We have some new ones, like I was saying. Okay. So I want to show you, first of all, our fast trading strategy, just because a lot of people, whenever they think algo trading, they want to be able to trade really quickly, get in and out of things very fast, and analyze a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is I'm running this fast trading strategy. You see here, we go into our broker. It was nothing, and now it bought a whole bunch of stuff automatically by itself. Okay. And let me describe to you essentially what this strategy is doing. Okay. Here is the code. The code is fairly straightforward. It's not that long, right? So it looks like, you know, 160 lines of code, but a lot of it is boilerplate stuff, and a lot of it is like, you know, kind of just tracking things and whatnot. It's very easy for you guys to get something like this up and running. Essentially what it does is it looks at these symbols here, right? SPY, gold, TLT, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. Right? We're looking at all those symbols and basically saying which one has done the best over the past 1 minute, right? And whichever one did the best, has had a momentum, the best momentum, it keeps the top 4, okay? And it'll keep swapping them out. So if we watch this here, we see the top 4 we have right now is TLT, XPXS, XPXL, and MCHI. Those are best over 1 minute. You see that just swapped. We just bought some gold. So it sold TLT and bought gold. Okay? If we leave this running, you'll see basically you'll do this all day long, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer. You could have this thing running in the cloud. You could have this thing running off your computer. It will just keep trading for you all day long, right? Now, this is a strategy that, follows momentum, but you could just as easily do a lot of other things with this, right? You could use technical analysis for this, right? I know a lot of people like looking at charts and support, resistance, that sort of thing. You could use that, right? You could use things like RSI or pivot points or VWAP, right? You could use all those types of things to influence which stocks you want to own and have like we have our top 10 stocks, and based on our criteria, we keep the top 4, and you can trade throughout the day doing that sort of thing. So this is very flexible. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. And this is just a demo to kind of show you, this fast trading, how it moves in and out. If we give it another minute, it should actually flip things around. We'll give it, so it executes once every minute. We give it a little bit more time. It'll swap things out. Oh, there you go. Okay, I just did that. So it sold the gold. Remember, you guys saw the gold. It sold that, and it sold our MCHI. So we sold 2 of those things, and it bought SPY and it bought Microsoft, right? And that's because those have been the ones that are doing the best over the past minute, and just kind of hold on to them, right? It's just a simple momentum strategy. But like I said, there's a lot of other things they could convert this into. Use any kind of technical analysis you want or any kind of criteria that you want to do this for trading, right? This is something I'll be like throughout the day, intraday, quickly getting in and out of things. All right, okay, so that's our fast trading strategy. Let's show you our technical analysis strategy, right? Because this one is, we could basically take what we did in the last one, okay? And we can do the same thing. Or we could use essentially, what we did in the last one. We could apply this sort of stuff for technical analysis type of stuff, right? So what this one does is sorry, there's a question here on chat. I want to do trading. Day trading will help me with that. Yes, absolutely, will help you with day trading. Yeah. So the last strategy that I just showed you, the fast trading, is very well suited for day trading, right? So what you would do is you would take something like that and combine it with maybe a technical, it depends how you trade, right? If you trade, support resistance, if you trade using VWAP, if you trade using some sort of technical analysis, RSIs or Bollinger Bands or whatever, we could implement all that kind of stuff, right? So here is a technical analysis strategy. This one trades a little slower, but you can mix the 2 together, right? You can make it so that the last one that we had takes the top 4 stocks, right? This one, what it does is it trades based off of RSI, right? So it looks at the RSI of SPY, right? And if RSI falls below 33, okay, so it's looking at the RSI for SPY, and it has 2 stocks that it trades, okay? It has SPY and TLT, okay? It has the 2 of them, okay? And they're normally 60-40, which is kind of like what investment advisors recommend, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, right? But when the RSI gets too high on SPY, which means kind of like it's overbought, right, is what we call it with RSI terms. When it's overbought, then we say, okay, let's get out of SPY and only buy TLT. So we sell our SPY, go 100% to TLT. And then the opposite situation, when SPY falls too much and RSI is low, then we will sell all of our TLT and only buy SPY, right? So it's changing weightings in our stocks based off of this criteria of a technical analysis, right? Technical indicator, okay? So if we see it trading right now, you'll see it bought 60-40 SPY, so 60% of money of 50,000 is put into SPY automatically, right? And TLT, the other 20,000, right? The other 40%, okay? If this is a time when SPY was too high, it would automatically sell SPY and get into TLT. Or if the opposite happened, if SPY fell a lot, it'll do the flip as well. You could do this much faster. You could do this with many stocks throughout the day. And you can use a lot of other types of technical analysis as well. So we use this library, right? You could use Bollinger Bands, right? You could use, you know, some of these things I don't even know what they are. Average true range, you could use that. Bollinger Bands, you could use moving averages, crossing, you use MACD, all sorts of different things they could use to trade with. RSI, stochastic RSI, right? Lots and lots of different things you could use to trade. And you can trade throughout the day, buying and selling things automatically based on your criteria, right? You don't have to be at your computer. You don't have to be paying attention to it. You can set up stop losses automatically, all that kind of stuff you can get through the bot, right? Okay, so that's our technical analysis strategy, right? Okay, I'm going to show you some cool new ones that we just made, right? So this is one that I think will probably resonate with a lot of you guys. This is a really fun one that we actually just created, and I'm actually in the process of testing exactly how well it does, but it is definitely a very interesting strategy. This is not the right, okay, we're gonna get out of this. So this is a strategy that we call Reddit sentiment, okay? You get access to this strategy. If you join our classes, you get access to this strategy within our classes, right? We'll give this to you. You can use this, you can modify this. It's part of our library of different algorithms, right? Okay, so let me run this one here, okay? And let me explain to you kind of what it's doing, all right? So this strategy, what it does is it goes to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wall Street Bets. I feel like this has blown up in popularity recently. And of course, you guys, if you guys follow this sort of thing or know about this sort of thing, it's been influencing a lot of stocks lately, right? The increases in GameStop was because of this channel on Reddit. Basically, I think it's now, when I last checked, there's 1 million, but someone told me there's 4 million people on here. Everyone's discussing stocks, talking about, you know, what to buy, what to sell, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a bit of predictive power where, you know, GameStop shot up a lot because of what happened on Wall Street Bets. There's some people that got going and basically went through the roof, right? GameStop, AMC was another one that's like a big, we call it meme stock or Wall Street Bet stock. And there's a few other ones that are happening more recently, like Wish, and a few other ones that maybe you guys have missed out on. But if you had this bot that we've built out here, you won't have to, right? So what it does is it automatically downloads the hot topics within Wall Street Bets, right? Downloads, you could specify exactly how much you want to download, right? And then it looks over all of those topics, reads all the comments, and uses some artificial intelligence, uses a bit of machine learning type stuff to figure out which stocks have the best sentiment, okay? And sentiment being whether people are saying they like them or not, right? I hate Wish, or I love Wish, or I think Wish is going to the moon, right? It's going to read all those comments and tell you which stocks are, first of all, talked about the most and which ones have the best sentiment. So we see here, Apple, for example, does not have a very good sentiment. It's widely talked about. People don't seem to like it on Wall Street Bets right now. Ones that they do like is this one here, 0.43 Wish. This one's been a hot topic for a while. If you look at the stock charts, by the way, it's gone up a lot. It's doubled over the past week or two, right? So that sentiment is high up there. We have GOEV. I don't even know what that is. This is talking about, people are talking about this on Wall Street Bets. But in either case, what it did is automatically read all that kind of stuff and then bought the top ones for you, right? So let's take a look here. Boom. These are all the top stocks on Wall Street Bets, right? It will automatically hold on to these and read actually these comments throughout the day and throughout the week. So you can have this running in a server, running on a computer. It will automatically buy, in this case, the top 4 stocks that are talked about on Wall Street Bets. Not only the ones that are the most popular, but also the ones that people have the best sentiment for, that people say they really like. Look at that, we just bought them and all of a sudden our money is already starting to go up. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy. We're going to be actually testing this over the next little bit, and I'm thinking about putting some of our own funds money into this as well. All right, so look at that. We literally just bought it, and look at what happened to our stock price. Like it's literally within a minute, it's shooting up like crazy, right? And what this strategy will do is it'll just keep reading this all day long, right? And see, has it changed, right? If sentiments have changed, it will get rid of it, right? Or if sentiments have gone up for one, it will buy it, right? So automatically be doing this stuff all day long, all right? definitely really cool. It's amazing how fast it's going up. So we have a question here. I have no coding experience. Will this program sync it to my trading platform and auto execute the trades? It depends what trading platform you use, right? So if you have no coding experience, I wouldn't be too worried about it. We have a lot of people in our classes with no coding experience, and they've all been able to get bots up and running. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that, right? Whether it links with your trading platform, it depends on what trading platform you're using, right? We have 2 brokers that we work with right off the bat. Yeah, so we use Alpaca, we use Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be adding in TradeStation soon. That's the next one that we're adding in. So if you use TradeStation, we'll probably have this built in within the next like 2 months, right? So we are definitely going to be adding that in soon, right? For Thinkorswim, they don't have API access. They have API access to something called TD Ameritrade. They don't give you access to the Thinkorswim platform. It's kind of a little weird there. So we recommend, actually, if you want to do like algo trading, TD Ameritrade is really not the best, right? They don't allow you to do paper trading, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it's really easy to switch brokers, right? Like to open up an account with Alpaca, like honestly, I think you can do this within 5 minutes, right? It's really easy to do that. So we work with them. We work with Interactive Brokers. We're going to be adding in TradeStation very soon. And then we're going to keep adding in more and more as we go. So you definitely have a lot of options there. This is amazing. Look at this. We literally just bought this and we're already making like a bunch of money. It's the stock chart just shooting straight up. Yeah, changing brokers. Yeah, I agree with you, right? Changing brokers is not very difficult. It's really easy to do that. I really like TradeStation. They have great APIs, so we're going to be working with them soon. They also have crypto. They have futures. They have a lot of other stuff. So TradeStation's a really good one that we're going to be adding in. It's amazing, guys. I got to start running my own money in this strategy. We literally just built this like 2 days ago, so we're still testing it out. But it's amazing. Look at this. Literally, in the course of this conversation, we've already made what, like $300 or something like that. It's just in the course of our talking right now. Cool strategy, right? So that's our Reddit trading strategy. If you have no coding experience, really not that hard for you guys to get this up. It's part of a code library, so you can actually start off with this. You can modify it however you want. You don't have to be an expert programmer to do this stuff, guys. You don't have to be some, like, whiz kid, because we give you a lot of these templates they can start off with. All right. Okay, cool. So that's a Reddit sentiment. I'm going to show you one more. That one actually is really cool. I gotta run that one. I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to run in the cloud and have it go for a few days, test it out for a couple of days, because that's pretty impressive how well it did that quickly. Like I said, we just built this one like 2 days ago. Another one I want to show you guys, and this is one that we actually just put a bunch of our money into. I really like this strategy, and I'll tell you why, right? And I'll tell you why through a back test, okay? So we teach you not only how to build the bots, we also teach you how to do the research behind it, as to, how are you going to be picking a strategy? Is this a good strategy for you to do or not, right? How do you find these strategies? And this is one way they can figure out whether a strategy is good for you or not, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm running a back test, okay? So it's a back test for a strategy that we call diversified leverage, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going from 2012, right? And we're doing this because some of these ticker symbols didn't exist until 2012. From 2012 until 2021, so 9 years, okay? And we're seeing how would our strategy have done over the past 9 years? What kind of results would we have gotten, all right? So the strategy in particular, the one that we're doing, is called this diversified leverage strategy, okay? And basically what it is this is like modern portfolio theory, right? If you talk to someone like a Ray Dalio, or you talk to like some of the most prominent investors in the world, they all tell you diversify well. And the reason why you diversify well is because you want to make sure that you reduce your risk. And if you reduce your risk, you can take on more, you can actually take on more risk and make more money, right? Essentially. So what this is we have a bunch of different ticker symbols we're in here. We're in the leveraged NASDAQ, so TQQQ, right? So it's the triple NASDAQ, right? So 3x the returns of the NASDAQ. If you look at the stock chart on this thing, it's wild. It's like up 1,600% in 2 years, or something like that. It's crazy, right? But of course, also has its risks. There's a downside as well, right? So we want to protect against that. So we have 20% of our money into that. 10% of our money into UPRO, which is the leveraged S&P 500, 3x leveraged. Then we have 10% of our money into UDOW, which is a leveraged Dow Jones. Then we have 10% of our money in emerging markets, right? Leveraged emerging markets, right? 35% of our money in leveraged treasury bonds. So now we diversify, right? So we have in total 50% of our money in stocks, right? In leveraged stocks, right? And diversified around the world a little bit, right? And then we have the rest of our money in something to counterbalance that, right? To reduce our risks, to give us some good hedging and to improve our returns without taking on too much risk, right? So we do that by having leveraged treasury bonds. So usually when stocks fall, treasuries go up and vice versa. So they're a really good hedge to have in a portfolio. We also have Barclays Vix, right? This is an interesting one. Basically, you lose money regularly, but when things fall apart, if like the stock market crashes, it'll go like up 5x. You'll make 500% of your money in like a day, right? And that's a really good hedge because if things fall, you want to be able to protect yourself, right? And we also have 5% of our money in gold. So this is one that actually I've put some of our money into, right? Not all, but some good chunk of our money into the strategy. And I'll tell you why, right? When we look at the back test, what we can see here is, look at this. So this strategy, okay, over that same time period, right? Over this 2012 to 2021, that 9 years there. So January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2021, right? So 9 years, yeah. Over that time period, the S&P 500 was up 17.5%, which is nice, right? If you're in this strategy, you would have made 28.9%. You would have almost doubled the stock market's returns, okay? Which is amazing, right? Like obviously that's, if you guys do the math behind this, this is the difference between when you retire, you could retire with $1 million versus 10 million, right? That's like the difference, right? Like it's a very, very large difference when you have double the stock market's returns. Huge, huge payouts. This could be worth $9 million to you in the future. You know what I mean, this kind of differential, right? But okay, so it's great to have the higher returns. That's awesome, right? But we're not just talking about higher returns here. We're talking about higher returns while taking on the same amount or less risk, okay? So over that same time period, so we doubled the stock market's returns, but we also had only a little bit of increase in our volatility. It's not too much more volatile, meaning this up and down thing. And our max drawdown is from the very top to the very bottom, it fell 33%, okay? If you were invested in this strategy, you would have also only lost about 33% at the same time period. So we have the same risk as the stock market, but we're making double the returns. That to me sounds incredibly impressive, right? Which is why we're putting some of our money into this, right? We diversify different strategies, everything into one. This was when we're looking at 30% a year return, sounds very appealing to me. Right, so this one went ahead. We go in here, you could see it automatically bought all these things for us, right? All the different ones. This would be a pain, by the way, to do on your own. And the key is that it doesn't just buy these, it rebalances. And that's the key here, right? Because you'll have days like, for example, TQQQ will shoot up, in a week's time, will shoot up 100% or something like that. When it shoots up 100%, you want to rebalance your portfolio and put money somewhere else. And that's how you actually get the safety along with the very good gains, right? It's intelligent portfolio construction, and that's how you end up making all the money. That's why having like a robot that'll automatically look at the stuff and rebalance for you is really important, because that's how you're actually going to end up with these returns. You can't just go and buy them and that's it, right? You actually have to be rebalancing and trading them on a regular basis, right? So I very much like this strategy as well. We have our own money, like I said, in this as well. And so far been doing, we've been making good money. So I'm happy with it so far. All right, cool. All right, so that's a couple of our strategies. We showed you everything from our day trading, to trading off of Reddit, to, building intelligent portfolios. I have a few more that I can show you guys. We have a whole library, like I said, there's tons of different things. We have things where we trade off of like macroeconomic things where we use like the debt, where the Fed Reserve, that they take on debt, we trade off of that. We're building out a bunch of options trading strategies as well, which we're going to have a separate webinar to kind of explain a bunch of that stuff where, you can trade volatility and all that sort of thing. We have lots and lots of different strategies, and we just keep growing more and more of them. So if you guys join our courses, not only are we going to teach you how to do this stuff, we're going to give you access to that big library. So you'll be able to either use it right out of the box, or modify it to do whatever you want it to do. You'll have access to that sort of stuff. All right. Cool. So that's the demo. All right, guys. So what do you think about that? I know some of you guys are asking questions throughout. I addressed a couple of them in the chat here, but let's just go through them really quickly. There's some questions you guys are asking. Do you share code when you join the course? Yes, we do. You get access to all those strategies I showed you, plus many more. We have machine learning strategies. We have tons and tons of stuff. So you get access to all of our strategies so that you can either use them out of the box if you want, just as is. And, you know, a lot of our students just do that. And I've heard some great stories about that, which is very nice. Or you could take it and modify it and have it do whatever you want it to do, right? So you have a starter in many different ways, and you have lots of code that you can use, right? That's definitely one of the advantages of joining the course is our library. And it keeps growing, by the way. We add a lot of new algorithms quite frequently. I think like 1 or 2 per month we've been doing. So it's moving quite fast. So we're talking about GameStop, and GameStop was really cool. That's a really cool thing to see too, the GameStop. By the way, we're working on a lot of other things too, where you know, we're looking at the Wall Street bets. I could trade off Wall Street bets, but we're working on things for other types of channels as well. You're gonna be able to read like Telegram, you'll be able to read emails, Twitter. There's, you know, it's quite widely known that when someone like Elon Musk tweets, for example, it moves markets, right? So imagine having a bot that monitors that and just gets in front of it really quickly. There's lots and lots of cool stuff that we can do there. So you definitely get access to all those strategies that I showed you, right? Get a copy of the presentation. I put a link to presentation. So another question. So can we implement these bots for crypto trading very, very shortly? If you take our next upcoming algo trading course, I think we're going to have that capability. So we're adding that in. That's you know, right now we're doing this options trading course. The one right after that is we're going to make 2 different courses on crypto. One of them on like building bots for crypto trading, right? Like really get very specific into that. There's lots and lots of details there, right? And we're also going to be making a course on building out smart contracts. So those are 2 courses that we're probably going to come out with next. But yeah, so answer to can we trade crypto? Not yet, but very soon. All right. If you are auto trading and making so much passively, are you teaching this course out of passion? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely teaching this out of passion. This is something I'm very, very big into. We're also building this. So the company that we're building out is going to be a lot more than this, right? Like we're turning this into a hedge fund essentially, right? Where basically we'll have a lot of people's algorithms. We'll put them up on a website. So if you guys take our course, you know, you build a good algorithm, I want to be able to put that on a website. You get paid for it. We'll change the way that the hedge fund model works is basically what I'm after here, right? So that's the long-term goal of this company, right? So you guys offer scholarships, not right now, but if you speak with our sales reps, they might be able to set you up with some sort of discount or something, right? And so Alberto says, excellent. Will we be able to see Sharp, Sortino, MaxDD at a portfolio level for 30 strategies combined and back test all 30 combined? Right now we back test one strategy at a time, right? We don't have this multiple back testing. It wouldn't be too hard for us to build. I've just never been asked that. You know, if you're going to do 30 different strategies, you could definitely run 30 strategies at the same time. That's perfectly possible. We just don't have the backtesting capability. Not yet. Wouldn't be hard. It would be hard to build. Just, you know, no one's asked for it, right? Yeah, good question though. Cool. Any other questions that you guys have? Awesome. No problem, Alberto. Yeah, so I guess another question that does get asked pretty often too is like, if you don't have training experience, can you still do this? My answer to that is that, you know, I've had people in the past say, oh yeah, I just started trading. I don't have a lot of experience, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this sort of thing. I want to trade first. My answer to that is always, you know, people who start off trading, you know, you can read up a lot about it and that sort of thing, but that's kind of the whole point of this, right? Is to make sure that things actually work out well for you, that you can back test things, you could check your assumptions, check things. there's a lot of bad advice out there on investing and trading. And I think probably the best way of getting around that is to just see for yourself, get the data and go through it, right? You don't need to trust anyone else with this. You can trust yourself, go through the data, see how that strategy would have done. And I think that's the best way of getting started with trading. My hope is that sometime in the future, you don't need to worry about this. You don't need to worry about buying companies or anything like that. They'll have algorithms building all that stuff for you, right? And probably making a lot better returns, right? If you can imagine, having all the algorithms in the world, we could even have analysts, like quote unquote analysts for high school kids starting companies and taking those public, and like, I think a very bright future for a lot of this stuff, right? Cool. The back test you did, how good did it go from 2012 to 2021? Is that for our diversified leverage strategy? If you mean our diversified leverage strategy, it does very well also. Yeah, it also does very well up until 2021. It survives 2020 very well because it has a hedge in there, and did I think over the past year, the strategy would have doubled your money, I think, if you invest in it, right? So basically, if you went from early 2020 to the end of to about now, right? I think you would have doubled your money in the past year. So it does, I think, even better if you go to 2021. When does the crypto trading course come out? So we're probably the course. We'll probably have a course on it sometime in January, right? I'm thinking that's probably a reasonable timeline for it. But we're gonna, so even if you take our algo trading course, we're still gonna cover crypto a little bit, right? We're not gonna go super in depth into it, but we're gonna cover a little bit of options, a little bit of crypto, a little bit of futures. So you kind of like get to know how to work with all these different types of assets, right? So, I wouldn't wait for the crypto course. I mean, we're going to be adding that in soon, right? Great, thank you. Do you sell some good tested bots to hedge funds? We are not currently selling bots to hedge funds, although we will be doing this sort of thing soon. So, like I said, we're planning on making kind of like our own fund, our own hedge fund, call it whatever. It's not technically wouldn't be a hedge fund because just for legal reasons, right? But basically allowing people to give us capital and invest it for them. Yeah, we're definitely working on that. And if a hedge fund wants to give us money, power to them. I'm much more interested in retail investors and in kind of helping out everyday people. But if someone turns around and says, "Here's a couple $1 million and invest it for us," not going to turn it down. Which actually we've had a couple people ask us more recently too, actually. But okay, so do you teach any quant and ML techniques for trading? Yeah, we have an entire course on machine learning. We have an entire course on this, right? And I could start walking through the course a little bit here. By the way, if you want to follow along, just go to lumiwealth.com and you can find it in our navigation bar. There you go. If you go to courses, you could actually go through. I'm going in here. I'm in under Algorithmic Trading under courses, right? But there's also a machine learning course and options trading course. And like I said, we're coming out with crypto courses soon as well. Right. So yeah, do we teach quant and ML techniques? Yeah, we teach it in that course. We also teach a little bit of that. So this algorithmic trading course, this one that you're looking at here, is kind of our getting started course, the beginner course. If you know how to code really well, then you might be able to skip that and just go straight to the more advanced ones. But usually if you want to do like the options trading or the machine learning, people usually take this course first and then take that course afterwards or buy them as a bundle, right? Because this course will teach you all kind of like the fundamentals of how to do all this stuff. And the machine learning kind of gets a lot deeper into it, right? Sorry, Amari said, do you sell some good tested bots to hedge funds to your students? Yeah, we've had quite a few people ask about our bots recently with licensing. If you want to license out some of our bots, you can do that. I'll show you how to set it up and all that sort of thing. If you're interested in that, we can definitely have that conversation. Yeah. And then another question is, would you have to access all the strategies that will be released 1 to 2 times per month? Yeah. So when you have access to our library of strategies, you get access for life, right? We are going to be breaking it up. So we're going to have like machine learning strategies if you buy the machine learning course, option strategies if you buy the options course. But our algorithmic trading course definitely has the most amount of strategies. And as we add them in, we're going to give you access to that over time as well. Yeah. Do you see any government law or anything that might stop future auto ML trading? Absolutely not. I think, if anything, the government should encourage machine learning and trading. I think that there's a lot of benefit for it. Imagine using machine learning where you can create valuations for very small companies on very smart exchanges, right? So imagine something like, a tiny little company that's worth like $2 million or something on the stock market and like a venture exchange. Imagine a machine learning bot that could actually act as an analyst for a company like that and actually figure out a valuation for it and trade that. Like that's actually adds a lot of value to the economy. I think a lot of times people think auto trading, they think just, we're trading based on some technical analysis. There is a very, very wide array of things that you can do using algorithmic trading. And I think machine learning is probably one of the most exciting parts of it, where, there's bots now. I don't know if you guys ever heard of GPT-3. There's bots now, they could talk to it and it like code for you, right? Imagine unleashing that kind of technology on the stock market and like the types of things that you could produce with that. Like, I mean, it's incredible the things that you could do, right? I could see even like smaller countries like just coming into power because they're using this sort of thing. Okay. Yeah. So if you sell bots to hedge funds, then the retail investors have the same tools the big guys do, which really doesn't give us an advantage. No. I mean, a lot of these bots, I mean, it's not like first of all, you're going to have a major advantage over like everyone around, right? Second of all, I mean, right now, if it's something like 85% of the stock market is traded algorithmically, right? So the fact, if you're not trading using an algorithm, you're actually behind already, right? Most of the hedge funds use this kind of stuff. So like I said, like 85% trades are automatic. It's made by robots, not people, so if you're not using algorithms, you're already kind of behind, right? To be honest with you. Yeah, so our intraday strategy is currently supported. Yeah, we do have intraday strategies. So fast trading is one of them. You can back test them. We recently added that capability. So yeah, if you want to do intraday and trade stocks throughout the day, you could definitely do that and back test all that for yourself if you like. And then multi-time frame analysis. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. A multi-time frame analysis, Alberto. Yeah, so multi-time frame analysis. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to explain that a little bit, I could answer that question there. And Amara asks, so law requires people to have 25K in to day trade an account. This works for this, right? Yeah. So I mean, if you want to do day trading, which by the way, a lot of our algorithms are not day trading algorithms. Some of the ones I like the most don't day trade. They trade much less frequently, but make a ton of money. I'm more interested in making money than I am about trading frequently. But if you want to do day trading type strategies, right, then yeah, you need to follow the law, which is basically need $25,000 if you're a pattern day trader, right? So which means that you do, I think, 5 round trips of sales within the same day. So you definitely need to follow that law if you're doing that, right? But like I said, I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. You don't have to be day trading, right? This is ML trading using a broker API. Yeah, we trade through APIs. Yeah, we connect to the broker's APIs and trade through them. Yeah. Using signals from multiple time frames, say trigger on 1 hour and trigger on daily. Yeah, so I mean, you could have like almost any number of different signals, right? You can anything you can imagine, you can pretty much build with an algorithm, right? So yeah, you could trade if you're looking at different signals from different time frames. You can combine a bunch of things. There's all these things are possible with code. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, some of our best algorithms are the ones that don't trade frequently, but just make good decisions, right? Like I said, I think it's a misconception that a lot of people think algorithmic trading means you have to trade 1,000 times a day. My algorithms that work the best trade several times a week. Will we have our own auto trading ML trading in our computers by the end of the training? Of course. Should everything go well? Yeah, I mean, it's if you want to do machine learning trading in the algo trading course, we have a machine learning algorithm that you can actually just use that code, right? So you could take that, you can modify it however you want. So yeah, so that's the last day of our course in algorithmic trading, because it's a little bit more of an advanced topic, but you're going to get the code for that, so you can use that and run your own machine learning bot for sure. Yes. There's also an entire course that we have on machine learning if you want to get like really deep into it. Right. Which broker would we be using to buy and sell? Right now, we connect to 2 brokers. We connect to Interactive Brokers and we connect to Alpaca. Right. The reason why is because Alpaca has free trades. They have a great API, very easy to get started and use with them. It's also great for teaching, because building a paper trading account literally takes like a minute, so you can have everyone up and running and trading very, very quickly. We also connect to Interactive Brokers because they're widely considered one of the best brokers in the world. That's because they have very low commissions, very low margin rates, and they trade pretty much globally. Even in like India, stuff like that, they trade everywhere, right? And they have a lot of different asset classes, including, options, futures, Forex, you name it, they have it. So they're widely considered one of the best brokers in the world. Ask any hedge fund, almost all of them use either Interactive Brokers, or they'll use like a Bloomberg to trade. All right, so that's why we use them. Do they have OTC stuff? Yeah, I believe they have OTC stuff as well. Yeah. And trade in India. Yeah. I mean, I haven't tried trading in India using Interactive Brokers, but I'm pretty sure you need to, comply with their legal stuff there and whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Interactive Brokers can trade there. And, if they can, you can connect through the API and we can, that'd be pretty cool to do, trade Indian stocks. Very interesting. I think this type of technology could actually be even more valuable in markets like that are a little bit more not as developed as the US markets, right? Would definitely be a cool thing to try. Absolutely. Cool. Thanks for the question, guys. This has been great. So let me tell you a little bit about this course. So like I said, we have 3 different courses right now. The algorithmic trading course is kind of like the main one, the one that most people start with. This is designed for people that you don't even need to know how to code. We'll walk you through all that kind of stuff. If you don't know how to code, it will be a little bit more work for you, not gonna lie. But it's the course is designed in such a way that's easy enough to be able to get started that way, right? The other 2 courses, machine learning and options trading, these ones are a little bit more advanced. If you have a programming background, you could probably jump into those right away. If you don't, I'd recommend that you take them together. Take the algorithmic trading course first and then take one of the other ones later, right? That's what I'd recommend, right? So yeah, so this is our algorithmic trading course, right? We have 3 different plans that we sell this course as. Our first one's our self-directed plan, which is basically you get the recordings of the videos, you get to join our community, you get access to all of our library of all our algorithms, right? So you get access to all of that, right? And you get access to the videos, right? However, it is not live, right? But you do get access to all those different types of things with our self-directed plan. Our most popular plan by far is our live class plan, which includes everything from self-directed, right? So you get recordings, you get access to the the library of algorithms, right? You get access to our community. You could join our discussion hour, which is again happening in 20 minutes actually. So yeah, so you get access to all that stuff. Plus, you get to go through classes live over Zoom, kind of like this, except imagine you could turn on your mic and your cameras, right? So that way we can communicate. You can ask questions throughout the course. If you need some help with anything, we could help you out. We'll get on calls with you and help you with some of your cool stuff. So the live class really gives you a lot of leverage there. You also get to know other people in the class, which is cool. You see people's presentations. You get to present your stuff and get some feedback. So it's definitely a really cool course, and this is definitely our best seller is the live classes. And then the project help and tutoring plan, what that is again, everything that I just talked about, you get all of that stuff, plus you get the white glove treatment. So if you want some extra help building out your bots, we can get our developers to actually sit down and write some code for you. If you need extra help and you want us to basically sit down with you and coach you one-on-one, more than happy to do that. So basically you get everything that we talked about, plus this white glove service, plus developers to help you out, plus we'll help you build some of your strategies, right? And give you that one-on-one treatment. All right. Here's the pricing for those plans. So like I said, the self-directed plan, this one is basically, it's about $1,000, $950, right? You get access to our entire video and code library. You get access to, all the pre-recorded lectures, all that kind of stuff. Plus, you get access to all the courses, or sorry, the strategies that I showed you, and our community. The live class is 3,500. This one, and by the way, all these have payment plans on them. We also have a 5-month payment plan if that is a little easier for you guys. But these are 3-month payment plans here. So yeah, so 3,500, you basically get access to all that stuff that I talked about, plus you get access to actually going live over Zoom, right? And you can ask questions, we can get on calls with you, and we can really help you a lot with building this stuff out. And then the project help and tutoring will also, all that stuff, as well as we'll get like developers to actually even help you build some of these bots if you need some help, right? A lot of people also buy them as bundles, right? So again, if you buy the algorithmic trading and machine learning together, you save some money, right? A lot of people do that because they want to get into machine learning, right? But they want to start off a little bit, learn kind of the basics first, and then get into the machine learning stuff. So a lot of people buy these things combined, and they could also buy them combined as this project help and tutoring. You can get that sort of thing. And then you could also buy again together with options trading course, or you can even buy all three. Some people buy all three together, right? But you definitely save a lot of money when you combine the two, right? Okay, so let me take a look here. I got a couple of questions up, so let me answer some of your questions. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, Amar. In the self-directed plan, would we have our own ML trading software too? Yeah, you get access to our library of our algorithms. So if you go through self-directed, you will get access to that library, and you'll be able to use a lot of those strategies I showed you, including the machine learning and other ones. Right? Good question. So what is the difference between algorithmic trading and machine learning is the question. So algorithmic trading is kind of the broad term, right? It's just generally using computers to trade, right? Using algorithms of any kind, right? Whereas machine learning is a specific kind of software code. So machine learning is kind of like AI, right? It's like what, when we talk about self-driving cars, or you talk about Alexa, that's all enabled through machine learning. So it's like using advanced statistics, basically, like artificial intelligence to trade, right? So imagine using AI to trade, basically is what it is, right? Definitely some very powerful stuff. I've seen some really cool results. Or the guy who teaches that course, Greg, he actually builds these types of algorithms for people, including hedge funds and things like that. And just the returns that he gets are absolutely incredible. I spoke to him about, I think his clients on average make like 50% a year. He has some clients that make a few $1,000% a year. It's ridiculous, the things that you're able to do with machine learning. So that's that other course. It's basically artificial intelligence is what machine learning is. It's the basis behind artificial intelligence. Ronak asks, if you sell the boss to hedge funds, then the retail investors have the same tools. Big guys. Oh, we answered that question a little bit earlier. But I could answer again. So if you're getting the same tools as what the hedge funds have, first of all, everyone has different tools and strategies, and you're still going to have a major leg up against other investors. And the truth is, it just gives you good returns. So does it really matter if you're beating them or not? The truth is, some of these major hedge funds will be beating you still. The market right now, again, so the stock market right now, 85% of trades are done using algorithms, right? So the fact that you're trading manually is actually, you're already behind, right? Like most of the trades almost all trades actually occur using algorithms. It's like 85% of the market. So you building your own algorithms is kind of actually playing catch up, right? And if you build some good ones, you can go much further, right? Definitely some of these big hedge funds, it's hard to compete against them, right? To like beat a Renaissance Technology is very hard to beat them, obviously. But those guys are also making like, 50% or 40% a year. Like, I mean, that sounds great to me, even just being able to catch up to them, right? Okay, and so another question here. So thank you. That is exciting. Thank you for sharing the results in detail. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Happy to answer those questions. These are good questions, guys. All right, so let's talk about the curriculum a little bit, right? So it's basically 12 weeks. It's divided up into 3 parts, right? So 4 weeks per each part, okay? The first part of the course is kind of building all the fundamentals, right? So it's like, if you don't know how to code, we do like a really quick Python refresher for you here. So you'll be able to go through that. We teach you how to use pandas and how to do data science for the finance world. So kind of give you all those fundamentals there of like, how do you use Python? How do you download data? How do you interpret that data from a financial perspective and do that analysis, right? This is the first part of the course. First part of the course has a lot of assignments in it to kind of reinforce your knowledge as well, right? The second part of the course is that we get like really deep into the finance side of things. We do a lot of back testing and we do a lot of data science on finance. So we'll be downloading data from the Federal Reserve. We'll be downloading data from Yahoo Finance. We'll be getting data from Quandl, lots of different sources, and kind of taking all that data and trying to interpret it and see how we can come up with our own algorithms, our own strategies, right? So it's how you do the ideation process, right? And then we also really get deep into back testing. So we back test a lot of different strategies for you. You see a lot of different examples. You learn how to set up the back testing, how to make sure that things are working out well for you. And it's kind of in the second part of the course, they teach you like how to do that discovery of what algorithms you want to make, and then actually test them to see if they actually work for you. Right. That's part 2. And then part 3 is really making sure that you're actually trading and making money. Right. So we make sure that your bot's connected. Actually, we now even do it even sooner, because when you do the back testing, you could also do the trading at the same time. So we get you set up even sooner. But part 3 really is driving that home, right? Making sure that you have a bot that's actually trading online, right? For this course, and I'm happy to even say guarantee, as long as you show up to class and do the work, you're guaranteed to have a bot up and running. We make sure of that. I hold everyone's hand to make sure that every single person has a bot coming out of this course, right? And when you have a bot up and running, you could take ours and start making money off of them. People take our code very often, and I keep getting a lot of messages lately where people are just making tons of money off these things, which is fantastic, and I love hearing that stuff. And also makes me want to make this even easier for other people going forward. But yeah, so part 3, we get really deep into a lot of these different strategies, make sure that your bot is up and running, and we go through maybe like 3 strategies or 4 strategies a day, and you really learn about how the code works and how you can replicate it and what you can do with it, right? And how to modify yourself. And then week 4 is also going into machine learning, right? And the machine learning basically it's an intro, right? It's not like we have a whole course on this. This can get really intricate and in depth. But week 4, we quickly go over machine learning, teach you kind of the basics, and then also give you a machine learning bot so you can trade with that, right? Cool. So that's the curriculum. We have 2 courses coming up. So the next course that we have coming up is in September. The registration closes on September 16th. So in about a week, our registration closes. So if you want to make sure you sign up sooner rather than later, because we're going to close the doors there. And then the course will actually start on September 30th, right? So at the end of this month, that falls on a Thursday, right? So it's going to be every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to run for 12 weeks, right? It's a 12-week long course. We recommend about 8 to 12 hours per week for you to put aside between, the lectures, which are usually about 2 or 3 hours once per week. And then, being able to practice and stuff on your own, we recommend about 8 to 12 hours. Right, but the classes themselves are about 2 to 3 hours every week. And these things are live, so you can ask questions throughout. And then if you need help with things afterwards, also happy to jump on calls and help you fix all sorts of things. So or get set up or whatever, right? So we're definitely helping you out with a lot of things that are in this course. So that's our September one. If September is a little too soon for you, then we also have another one starting in December. That starts on December 8th. Registration closes on November 24th. Right now, you can actually get a discount if you sign up. The discount is up until October 24th. So you get like an early bird special on this. So if you sign up to this, you can actually save some more money here. This course goes for 12 weeks as well, although December 8th, there's obviously a lot of holidays around there. So we're going to exclude those holiday periods, right? So it's going to be 12 weeks and then, 12 weeks of actual learning, but then, it might go a little longer, obviously, because of Christmas and all the holidays that are happening. But yes, this one is the same thing, except it's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. Pacific, right? So we have those two coming up. Throughout the course, they also work on some projects, right? So the second and third thirds of the course, we go deep into projects and we see a lot of presentations from people about what they're building. So the first project is, analyzing investment returns, trying to do using data science to analyze investments and kind of figure out what it is that you want to be buying and selling, that sort of thing. So that's one project is analyzing investment returns. You also see other people working on their projects. So you kind of get ideas from them. You could share your ideas. You can present to the class and get ideas from others. It's always very, very fun doing that sort of thing. People love seeing each other's strategies and talking about it. And then project 2 is building out an actual live trading bot where this thing will be working for you and basically trading for you automatically, right? And that's project 2. And it's always really cool seeing people having their bots up and running and making money and that sort of thing. On this page as well, it's a little bit more about me if you want to read about my bio, right? I should probably put my LinkedIn stuff here and whatever and whatnot. And then we also have some testimonials here from some of our past students. We're going to be adding more soon, but here's a bunch of our testimonials. Some of these guys, had a coding background, some of them didn't. But they all built some, like, for example, Geem didn't know how to code when he joined our course. He has learned quite a bit since and built some really, really cool stuff. He also has a YouTube channel if you're ever interested in watching his videos. Renee Santine, this is one of our students is doing really, really well. Last I heard, this guy made like 300% in the past year. Amazing. I think he's been building some really, really cool stuff. And if you join our courses, if you are part of our Discord community, you'll definitely hear from him. He's a very active member of our community. Joel also has built some very cool things as well. So yeah, if you want to listen to, like, don't believe me, right? Listen to these guys. They've gone through the courses. You can talk to them there. They're also, most of these guys are pretty active on Discord as well. So you can probably catch them on there too if you want to ask them some questions, right? Cool. All right. So yeah, so that's basically it for the course. If you want to go to this page again, you go to lumiwealth.com and then you just click on Algorithmic Trading. I'll also put the link inside the chat here so you guys have a little bit of an easier access. All right. So there you go. Perfect. There you go. Cool. All right. So that pretty much brings us to the end here, right? So that's our course. You saw the demos and whatnot. Do you guys have any more questions for me before we finish for the day? It's been really fun with you guys, by the way. I love all the questions you guys have. I love how interactive this is. You guys are definitely asking lots of questions. I think that's fantastic. Okay, this is really fun. Yeah, same for me. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, these algorithms are really cool, and like when we started this 2 years ago, we didn't really have a lot of technology or whatever, but we've really built up a lot. We have a pretty extensive coding library now. Our open source library has gotten very good. In some ways, it's the best in the world, right? We have lots of algorithms that we can show off now. We've been making some good money trading our own. So it's definitely some really cool stuff, and things just keep getting better and better. So we keep growing. So when you guys join us, the advantage is every time that we do this course, each time around, there's more and more in it, and there's more things that we can show you and make it easier for you. So, oh, and by the way, that's another thing I wanted to mention is that if you guys take our live course, right? If something happens, right? Moving, you get sick, whatever, COVID's go around, right? Then if you can't make it to this specific date, we could always move you to another date. You could take these courses as many times as you want, right? And also because technology changes and we have newer algorithms that we come out with and all that sort of thing. If you take our course now in September, let's say, and then we released a bunch of new things in the future, you're more than welcome to pop in on any of our lectures in the future. So let's say we built some really cool algorithms, you can just come in and join the future classes as well. So, so yeah, so you can retake the course as much as you want. All right, so it's from Anonymous. I have a data science background, but no financial background. Will I miss any finance concepts if I jump into the machine learning course instead of the algorithmic trading course? I mean, I would definitely recommend taking the two together, right? There's definitely a lot that we talk about in the algorithmic trading course on like the broad financial topics and that sort of thing. And we talk a lot about backtesting and that sort of thing. The machine learning course gets like really deep into machine learning, right? So yeah, you might miss out on some financial concepts, but it's up to you, right? I mean, I definitely recommend taking both of them together. I think that's the better way to do it, but it's up to you. We cover a lot of finance stuff in the algorithmic trading course. It's kind of the very nature of it, right? And you know, if you're new to trading, it's actually really good because we teach you a lot of like the fundamental trading concepts, but then also, you know, there's these stock gurus out there. They're like, yeah, buy this stock, buy this stock. It's like, it's great. You know, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I don't know. But with these things, you could actually do back testing, and you could actually use software to find out, does your algorithm make sense? Is it making you money before you actually run it live? So you get that kind of assurance there, right? The question is here, is that in writing? I'm not sure what you mean by in writing. What do you want to have in writing? I'm more than happy to put any of that stuff in writing. Is a recorded video too, so you can quote me on it. Unlimited courses, yeah. I mean, I don't. Maybe it's not in writing, but I'm more than happy to put in writing if that makes you feel more comfortable. We have a lot of students that retake these courses, you know, because people get sick, people have kids, people have to move, like they get promoted at work. We had a few people that started off with us, and because they put Python on their resume, all of a sudden got promotions, which is really cool. One of our students actually got a job at Goldman Sachs, which is awesome. So things happen, right? If you want to retake the course, perfectly fine by me. If you want that in writing, I can put that in writing. Right. Cool, awesome. And you help with resumes? Yeah, if you want help with resumes, we've walked through that. I've helped a couple of our students with resumes. Yeah, interview prep, resumes. If you need any of that kind of assistance, we can help with that too. Yeah. Cool, awesome. Great questions, guys. No problem. All right. Any other questions? If you guys buy the course in the next few minutes, you could join our discussion hour tonight if you want to, which is where I'm going to be going in about 2 minutes. All right, guys. So this has been really fun. It's been great speaking with all you guys. I love the enthusiasm. I love all the questions. I think this is awesome. I hope to see you guys in our courses. Like I said, the next one is starting in September. It's coming up very shortly. Our registration closing date is very soon too. So if you do want to sign up, make sure you sign up sooner rather than later. If you want to save some money and you want to take this course out in December, then you can also get that early bird discount as well. All right. Thank you, Robert. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you being here as well. These are fun. I always love doing these things. These are always fun. And I hope to see you guys in our courses, and let's build some cool stuff together, and let's stick it to the man, you know, and just make some good money, you know. All right. Have a good night, guys. And thank you very much for attending.